Welcome to this video. I'm going to do a video on the post full moon lunar eclipse that we've just had in Pisces, weekend energy, and start of Equinox as well. So it's going to be a bit of a mixed reading, this one. We've got a few things kind of going on that I want to talk about. So let's start with the lunar eclipse that we just had. Hope everyone's doing all right. Woo, it's been a lot, right? I'd be really curious to know how this has shown up for you. Um, if you've felt it at all, I know I certainly have. It's brought up lots of things. I felt like it was quite shadowy, this one, which I was not quite expecting. But yeah, definitely brought some shadows to the surface. Endings, as predicted, endings definitely happened. Feelings of loss. I've really seen this collectively. So if that is you and that's how you've experienced it, then just so you know, like sending lots of love to you because it's yeah, like even if it's good, right? The loss or things going away, it can be, like I talked about this before, it can be very tricky for our human selves to handle this, like, and it can bring up all sorts of wounds, right? Abandonment wounds. Like, I've seen this come up quite a lot for people. I'm curious if that's shown up for you as well. So yeah, so if you've got a whole host of like complicated feelings that have come with it, just know that I'm sending you so much compassion, so much love, and I hope that you can extend that to yourself as well, you know? So I kind of wanted to do a bit of a reading on like, yeah, the post lunar eclipse energy and how to sort of like navigate this energy, and talking a little bit about this, going into the sort of autumn season now that we will be. I think it's on Sunday. Forgive me if I've got that wrong. If you follow me, you know I'm a bit rubbish with days and times. It's all just a big melting pot. But yeah, it's happening. I'm pretty sure it's this weekend, or around that time anyway. So feeling that shift from summer to autumn, and like how we transition from summer to autumn, it's like it's already been kind of happening with Virgo. I always think Virgo is like the season where we're shifting from summer to autumn, and it's the mutable sign, so things are kind of changes, right? We've had, again, change has been like the key word of this week. I think changes for sure. And even if they haven't like fully manifested themselves, I feel like it could present itself as like, oh, this is going to happen, and this is like a reality that's going to shift things in a big way. That could be also how it's shown up for you, even if it hasn't quite happened just yet. So yeah, so you might start thinking with this shift into autumn and the equinox of like starting to reflect upon where we have maybe abandoned ourselves, or like, I guess what I mean is in summer things are so busy and things are just like happening, and it can be really fun and good, but in that process it's really easy to be like to abandon certain things that we know are really helpful for us, and it's a really good time now to sort of come back to ourselves and come back inward again, to be like, where have I left myself in places, where have I abandoned my needs, where have I maybe not asserted boundaries. I always think that in summer we just say yes to everything. It's a very outward energy, and now it's like, okay, that's great, but now we like need to find our no again. We need to find like where our limits are, where we've overextended ourselves, where we've pushed too far, and coming back to like, what do I need again to regulate, to take care of myself, to like give myself that time again, and perhaps that might be with more boundaries and more devotion, this is Virgo as well, to our self-care, you know, like really prioritizing that again, if that's something that has been like abandoned over summertime, because that can easily happen with all the parties and celebration and that kind of thing. So Virgo really reminds us of that. So I'm going to get into the cards now. So I'm going to look at post full moon collective energy eclipse, post eclipse energy. What's the collective energy after this new moon? Not new moon, sorry, eclipse. Okay, yeah, that's one. Show you in a minute. Oh, gosh. Not surprised to see this. Yeah, not surprised to see this either. Interesting. Okay, one more, please. Ooh. Yes, okay. So, we have Eight of Wands, swiftness. Hopefully you can see that. I think the camera quality is a little bit better. I've been working on it. So hopefully things seem a bit clearer. Fingers crossed. Okay, so Eight of Wands, swiftness. Things moving very quickly. Things changing, things moving quickly. But like what I always find with this card that's so interesting is like the zigzags on it, like feeling quite frazzled, feeling like I definitely think like there is something at the moment that's very important around grounding ourselves, regulating our nervous systems, because I know personally, and I've seen this in others as well, that when change is happening and change is happening quickly, our nervous system isn't able to like keep up to what am I trying to say? Let me let me think about that for a second. It can be really good for us on a soul level, right? All this change. That's what this eclipse has all been talking about. It's like change is necessary. It's all required. Da 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 da. Great. And our nervous system might be struggling to keep up with the change, so it can create this like fear. It could be fight response, but it's this general sense of like something's not safe. I'm not safe. Like your body and your nervous system haven't calibrated to this change yet. So it's up to us to give our nervous system the support to be able to calibrate the new changes that are coming. And that, like, really simple stuff with that is like going out for walks and walking slowly, eating your food slowly, taking deep breaths. Like all of this stuff is speaking to the body and the nervous system. It's not like a mental thing, it's a physiological thing. Because if you're like moving really quickly and like in this kind of energy, then it's telling your brain that like something is up. So we can sort of take that into our own hands by regulating ourselves and doing things that are soothing. It doesn't necessarily mean like completely doing nothing, although if that is what you feel called to do, great. But it's more like doing things that signal to your body that it's safe. So that's why, yeah, I love like going for long, slow walks and moving my body gently, like not that, again, for me, if I'm in that kind of more heightened sympathetic nervous system arousal state, sitting down and doing nothing actually like creates more of like, oh, I need to move. My body wants to do something. So just doing something, but gently. Because we've also got here Nine of Wands, strength. This card also speaks of exhaustion though. So yes, you've come out the other side of some stuff and you are seeing how capable you are, and that's amazing. And this can be very exhausting, right? This is following on from the Eight. We've got the Eight and the Nine of Wands, very, very action oriented, and can leave us feeling, yeah, frazzled. So there's something here about, yeah, like I've already said, regulating ourselves in amongst all of this unknown, uncharted territory. It takes a toll on the body, you know? I don't want to say that as like a negative thing, but it's just about knowing how to support ourselves through, I want to say like tumultuous times, you know? Because we've also got here the Devil. Now, I like the Devil. I know that's like it's always like a weird way of putting it. But what I mean is I never think of this as like a bad guy showing up. The way I see it with the Devil in this context as well is that it's like the Devil shows up when we have not been committing to taking care of ourselves. The Devil is a Capricorn card. That's the Capricorn glyph there. And I always think that Capricorn is very interested in like showing up for ourselves. Like earth signs generally are very like oriented around doing the daily stuff that takes care of ourselves. And when the devil is here, it's like, where have you been maybe falling prey to sort of old ways of coping with stress? That's what it is. Because I'm really seeing like here, there's a potential here for a lot of stress to the nervous system. I know I keep talking about that. So the devil speaks of falling prey to like sort of addiction and like escapism and not really actually truly resting. This feels important to say actually. So sometimes when we're really stressed, like we go like to our phone and like scroll, and that feels kind of soothing, right? Like I know it does for me. But actually, it's not true rest. It's not true regulation. If anything, it dysregulates me more. But I feel like, oh, that's going to make me feel better because I can just like escape from the stress of everything, and I can just ignore everything and just be like, do. Yay, I can avoid. It's like the devil shows up when we're doing a lot of avoiding. And it's kind of like, where do you actually need, what do you actually need to take care of yourself? That's actually restful, that's actually regulating, and maybe a little bit kind of not boring in a bad way, but it's like, you know, going for a walk isn't exactly glamorous, but it's helpful, right? Or eating your food more slowly, not glamorous, but helpful. Where watching TV or scrolling on your phone or having alcohol all feel more like appealing. It's like, but is that really going to help you? And getting really, really, really honest with ourselves around is this actually helping me, or is this just feeling good in the moment but is actually compounding and adding to the stress? Okay, so I'm also going to do a slightly different reading now, where I'm going to ask what is being asked of us around this seasonal shift into Libra season. Oh my god. These cards are jumpy already. Okay. What are the shifts into Libra, please? Oh, love this. What's being asked of us for Libra season? I'll do more readings on this, but I just kind of want a little peek. Ooh, okay, all right. One more card, please. Oh, very interesting. Okay, so there's a few winking at me as well. All right, so here we've got Knight of Cups and we've got Two of Cups. So very much focusing on our emotional well-being, which is great. However, we do have the Tower in the middle. So more changes, more surrender, more leaning in to what nourishes us, because I always think cups is about, it's about love and emotions and nourishment and care and taking care of ourselves. Because it isn't over yet. Like, the thing is, we're only at the beginning of eclipse season. It's not like this is the one time. There's going to be more. We also have, I think it's the 2nd of October, the new moon in Libra, where we're still in the eclipse energy of it all. It's not done. So there's still more things that are going to be shaken up. Look at the energy of that card. More destruction. Now, I don't want to think of destruction as a bad thing, right? Because destruction is like, well, we have to destroy things to create things. Things have to go in order to make space for the new. But yes, it can be challenging. Mars, this is a Mars card. That's the Mars glyph right there. Mars is here to challenge us, is here to push us. But I love that it's supported here with 2 cards around love and emotional support. So it really feels like it's a time to really take care of ourselves so that we can handle these necessary changes that are coming. So I feel like I probably don't need to speak to too much more about that because I've already said so much about this. But changes are happening. It's happening, and it's up to us to kind of surrender to them. But the way that we can help ourselves is by regulating, by nourishing, by taking care of ourselves, not falling prey to our addictions, or like old ways of managing stress. We need new strategies. That's what it is. It's like a really good time to adopt new strategies that actually help you rather than just feel good in the moment and then actually compound and make things worse. So I think that's everything for this reading. Thank you so much for watching that. I hope that was helpful. Let me know in the comments how you've been finding this energy. I hope everyone's all right. I love you all so much. And as always, if you have enjoyed it, liking, commenting, subscribing is the best way to get more of this content and support the channel. So thank you so, so much for being here. Mwah.